Oh, she is so mad at me. Are you so mad at me? Say hi. Good girl. Okay, I'm gonna let you go. I still don't really know how to hold cats. Oh, you want to hang out now? Okay, I want to share my perspective on a really important topic that once I got a grasp on this idea and started practicing it, it improved my life in so many different ways. Social life, love life, personal confidence, just all around grasping this concept made my life more peaceful, joyous, confident, connected, harmonious. And it is the idea of trusting the universe. You can call this a lot of different things. I like trusting the universe. I also like to say letting go or releasing control of outcomes. That's essentially what trusting the universe comes down to. It is releasing control, accepting the unknown of where your life or any given situation may end up. You know, when it comes to the spiritual or self-healing journey, or self-growth, whatever you want to call it, a lot of the times you just need to hear an idea phrased in a particular way, and then suddenly it clicks in your mind and you understand, and then you're able to put it into practice. But before you hear those right words, it doesn't necessarily click for you. And the idea of surrendering or trusting the universe never clicked for me until I read this book, The Universe Has Your Back by Gabrielle Bernstein. This is on my essential reading list. I consider it to be one of the books that made me who I am today. It triggered a mini awakening in my mind that changed my life. So let me try to, how the hell do I fucking explain this? Growing up, I used to put so much pressure on outcomes. And I'm talking like such a wide range of different things. Like, first of all, the whole course of my life. I think many of us are raised in a way. I think our society is built to put an emphasis on our futures, like our career paths, our financial stability, you know, having a family and a stable career. It's like we're often thinking about this golden thing and we're always reaching for it in the future in order to find happiness, stability, joy, and peace. It's always this thing in the future, and that leads to you feeling like you need to do everything right in order to reach this thing in the future. This is how I operated for most of my life thus far. Hey, Pickles. My God, she's so cute. Can I take another photo? So a great source of my anxiety and stress in life was making sure I got good grades so that in the future I could get into a good college. When I was in college, I was anxious and stressed about getting good grades so that I could get a good job in the future. This future-based thinking would also cause me to overthink and stress intensely about life decisions, such as what college do I want to go to? What should I major in? What class should I take? Should I focus on my YouTube channel or should I get a corporate career? These kinds of decisions plagued me because I felt that there was this idea of the future I was striving towards that necessitated me to do really well and make the right decisions now so that I could reach this particular future where I would finally find happiness and be at peace. This is the normal way that many of us operate. I would think this way about every single social situation. I would be just so fixated on making sure that it went well, making sure that I presented myself well, making sure that I was not awkward. All these things. I put so much pressure on myself to make sure that the outcomes of various situations were successful. You know, hanging out with friends, I want them to think I'm cool. I want them to want to hang out with me again. Going on a date, just stressing, sweating, heart beating, just really want it to go well, really want to impress the other person so that they want to see me again. This spiritual self-help journey that I share on my YouTube channel and on my TikTok and that I write about in my journal, it's all connected to so many different things. As I'm talking about this need to control the result and the outcome of various situations and my life as a whole, it's also connected to people pleasing. People pleasing was a big thing that held me back for much of this life. And as I'm verbalizing, I'm like understanding that, oh, like the need to control and get a good outcome or a good result was kind of fueling my people pleasing, you know, like I wanted, because these outcome focused things, they're not really ever honoring who you are in that moment. You're prioritizing your own future, which is not you right now. So you're putting yourself down to prioritize your future. And if you're outcome focused, you're also focusing on other people, making sure things go well for them, but you're not really focusing on yourself. And that's a big problem. So this is a deeply, deeply ingrained way of thinking. This just like everything is about the future. I need to control things to make sure that my life goes down the right path, to make sure that people like me. You know, you could apply it to job interviews. I could apply it to my YouTube channel. It's like just this intense grasp and attachment, this overwhelming need to make sure that things go well. You know, I remember posting each and every video on my old YouTube channel, just wanting so bad for those videos to get the right amount of views, for my subscribers to like the videos, to get a certain amount of comments, make a certain amount of revenue. Whatever the metrics were, I was just so attached to positive outcomes that I neglected to honor my present moment. You know, I started making videos that were all about the algorithm and I lost my passion for it. I burned out. I had incredible social anxiety because I put so much pressure on myself to not be awkward, to present myself in a likable way. And I was just incredibly stressed and anxious about the course of my life, career, love, who I wanted to be, where I wanted to live, these sorts of things. Now, this is where trusting the universe comes in. This is a radical, radical way of thinking. And it is a very, very beautiful and freeing one. If you're able to genuinely trust the universe, and I'm going to try my best to explain what that means, you will just take this deep breath and you're like, oh, it's all going to be okay. It's all going to be okay. So we have this illusion of control. I believe we have some control over the path that our lives take, but at the end of the day, I believe this idea that we can really control where our lives are headed is an illusion. And not only is it an illusion, it's a very anxiety-inducing, stress-inducing, counterintuitively very limiting perspective on life, because you're in a box. You got to do all these things to make sure your life goes this way. But what I'll ask you is, what about all these other ways your life could possibly take? The perspective of this book is essentially that the universe has a plan for you. If you let go of control, if you surrender to what the universe might have in store for you, you will be able to just enjoy your life more. All that stress and anxiety, that weight you have on your shoulders of needing to control how your life is going to end up, it all washes away. You get to, and this is another important perspective on the spiritual journey, you get to actually take the back seat, sit in the observer role, and watch the drama of your life play out. And when you're watching the drama, instead of grasping so tightly on how it's going to end up, you get to enjoy the drama a lot more. This language, surrender to what the universe may have in store for you. Trust that the universe has your back. It has allowed me to let go, or it has triggered a thought pattern in my brain that has allowed me to really let go of control of outcomes. Some examples. When I show up on a date, I don't care how it ends up. I don't have this expectation that it needs to go well. Therefore, when I show up to the date, I am more at ease. I'm confident. I am comfortable just presenting myself to this person and accepting that if we're meant to form a connection, we will. Otherwise, we won't. And both are fine. You see, it's this, you shift your focus from the outcome to the present. And when you're in the present, you're open to all the possibilities of outcomes. Oh, hey, Pocket. This is the thing. It's when you're so pressed to reach a particular outcome, say it's landing a specific job, making a specific date go well, let's say you're going to a party, you really want it to go super well. You're holding on to one little possible path that event can go. And that is a unhelpful form of attachment to outcomes, because think about the array of possibilities that each of these things can go. Let's say you get rejected from the job, then maybe the next week you find a job opportunity that's just 100 times better. Let's say the date doesn't go well, and then in 3 months, you find the partner of your dreams. And even me, it's like I was so attached to my skateboarding YouTube channel in my past, doing well and being my career. I was so anxiously attached to that outcome. But as I started to let go, the channel stopped doing as well. It gave me an opportunity to find myself and find what I really love to create. And through that channel not doing well, I got really introspective. I picked up the artist's way. I started writing in my journal. More seriously, I started acknowledging other aspects of life. I've just become more expansive, more open to whatever my future may have in store. And it is just this lighter, more open, more flowing, more joyous way to live. And, this is part of the Stoic philosophy too. When you experience a misfortune, the Stoics suggest you embrace that misfortune because you don't know if it's actually a misfortune. For example, when I broke my foot skateboarding, obviously on the surface, that sucks. I can't skate anymore. But that period of rest allowed me the time and energy to get deeper into philosophy. That's actually when I discovered the Stoic philosophy. That was the first time I really started diving into my second YouTube channel. It's like when you trust the universe, you become open to the possibility that bad things on the surface can actually turn into good things. So the bad things have less weight. You're just kind of waiting to see where your life goes. And I'm aware this is a radically different perspective than what most of us are raised with, but it's an awesome one. And it's awesome because it feels so good. And you're like, this is a shift into living in the present. This is where, if you if you believe in this Buddhism stuff and this spiritual stuff, many of us are aware that joy is found in the present moment. You're never going to reach that future joy you're always looking for. This perspective of trusting the universe allows you to let go of some of that grasp that you have on the future. You get to really just be in moments, not too concerned with where they're going, but just concerned with being. You can apply this perspective to so many different things. Even here's a very niche form of anxiety. Let's say you have a trip planned, a week-long trip with your friends. Have you ever felt like just this pressure to make sure the trip goes really well? That's not necessarily a good feeling. This feeling like you need to make sure it all goes well, that might make you start feeling responsible for other people having a good time. Again, you shift into people pleasing. But if you're open to however the trip might go, you just get to be there. You just get to be on the trip without this weird extra toxic layer of pressure that you put on yourself. Trusting the universe, you open yourself to every possible path that the universe may have in store for you for your entire life and for every single little situation you find yourself in. I mentioned this, but I want to emphasize this openness may skyrocket your personal confidence because you are taking so much pressure off yourself. You're letting yourself just be a human and you're allowing yourself to just be yourself and trust that the right people will gravitate towards you. The right situations will go well. Social anxiety goes away because you don't need to make sure that everybody likes you. You just trust that the right people will like you. It helps solve people-pleasing mentality in that way. I don't know, even this, I could name so many different examples, but even as far as if you didn't know, I have the phrase "let go" tattooed on my wrist, and it's the same idea. You're letting go of that one particular outcome that you, for some reason, have convinced yourself is essential for you to be on that path. When you let go of that, you're open, you're free, you're confident, you're flowing. Life gets more light, fun, and easy. It's also really fun to be the kind of person who is open to signs from the universe and synchronicities. And if you notice patterns, maybe you keep seeing something that reminds you of someone, just being open to the possibility that that is the universe guiding you, whether or not those signs are real, that's a fun way to go about life. It's not so serious. People who try so hard to control their lives the whole way through and take it all really seriously, it's okay, you're going to go and have a serious life. I'm sure you'll find financial stability, but I like the idea of just letting go, seeing where it takes me, living in the present, and, finding happiness and joy here and now and in the moments that make up my life, instead of just having this obsession with trying to control my life. You know, I get it. I get why so many of us were raised, and I get why society pressures us to find financial security in the future and to pick the right career path so we can secure a good future for our kids and blah, blah, blah. Like, I get it. Like, that leads to productivity. It lines up with capitalism. It's going to make you more likely to buy a house or whatever. But this spiritual, open way to live is pretty fucking sick. That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying. I've been a lot happier. I've found more things that make me happy. I've found more people that make me happy. You kind of open yourself to the law of attraction. There's less pressure. You can just trust that things are going to go where they're supposed to, you know? This is also a perspective that can help you find a lot more gratitude for here and now. You know, I'm in a 3-bedroom apartment in Brooklyn. It's a crammed little apartment. You know, I work in the corner. It's kind of hectic. It's kind of overwhelming. But if I just, it's a decision to trust that I'm meant to be here, and that the universe is, if I'm meant to be in a house one day, the universe will take me there. That perspective makes me sink in to this experience, this 3-bedroom roommate experience I'm having here now in New York City. I get to appreciate what's outside right here because I don't have to think so hard about changing it in the future. This phase is here. The next phase will come. These things, they happen. Like, we think we need to control everything so much, but these things, they happen without us grasping so tightly. That's what trusting the universe is about. The decision to trust the universe is a decision you should make if you want to live on lighter terms, if you want to live a more present focused life, a less anxious and stressful life. And yeah, I personally really recommend it. I don't know what else to say. And yeah, so the trusting the universe is one idea that is connected to this greater spiritual way of thinking, way of living. I find many, many parallels to Buddhism, to Stoicism, to the practice of meditation, to present focused living in general, to the interconnectedness of it all. And I don't know. I have this, when I think about the universe, I think about this idea that like maybe this all started at the Big Bang, and it's just this universe is just expanding and expanding and expanding, and we are part of that expansion. Like, the universe it's going somewhere. We're a part of it. We are made of stardust. To think that we have so much control over where this is going, I don't think makes much sense. So that's kind of my like logical reasoning behind trusting the universe, but you can, find it in whatever way you can. At the end of this book, it takes a little bit of a religious turn, which actually turned me off a little bit at the time, and I stopped reading it. You could just as easily say God when I say the universe. It's kind of a similar idea. It's just putting your faith into something outside of you. That's the powerful thing. Put your faith into something, some guiding force that's taking you in the right direction. That's where you find your ease, your peace of mind, your joy, your appreciation for the present. That's my perspective and what I have to say about trusting the universe. Hopefully some of these words were able to maybe trigger a mini awakening or a big awakening in your mind, or help further your thinking on your own inner journey. I know that, this line of thinking, this book has just dramatically improved my self-confidence, my peace, my ease, my joy, and I'm very grateful for it. This book, along with my whole essential reading list, will be linked in the description, and fucking Godspeed to all of you on your journeys through life. What a crazy thing this is. I mean, looking outside, there's a tree, a freaking offshoot of the earth, just like I am. I just happen to have mobility, but there's the tree, and I'm in a fucking metropolis with a light and a camera, and I'm reaching a human being through the internet. What the fuck is going on? All right, I'll see you guys next week.
Hello. Hey, you're so cute. You're so cute.
Okay.